Happy Tuesday. I admittedly am hopping in here a little bit earlier than normal and not on my normal day. So normally I'm here Monday and Wednesday around 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, but today on my ride home, I literally like the light for my tire came on and I don't know how long it's going to take for them to fix it. So I was like, okay, let me come home and do this because I didn't want to skip doing it today. And then I'm going to go and like run and take care of my tire right after this. So anyways, hi. If you have never seen me here before, my name is Janae and I am a hypnotherapist. And what I really love to do is help women use powerful tools to empower themselves to step into pretty much their version of success. So if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell so that you are notified whenever new videos come on. And if you are not watching on YouTube and you want to check me out, if you like this video afterwards, feel free to look me up there under Essentially Janae, and you will find a lot more videos like this one. So today, I'm going to be talking about living without fear. And fear is just like, it's something that can really hold us back. And the first thing that I want to say about fear is that so often we innately associate our fear with being bad. But really, when you think about like humans, just like on a DNA, how we are encoded level, fear was originally intended to help keep us safe, right? Like if a bear is coming up and getting ready to attack you, obviously you being afraid is part of your natural fight and flight state, and it could probably save your life, things like that. However, in just like modern day society, we have in like just gathered so many fears of so many things. People are afraid of being judged by others. People are afraid of, you name it, public speaking or anything like that. You are only born with two fears naturally. Everything else that we have incorporated beyond that is something that we have gotten from just our environment, to be honest. And so often the opposite, or what feels safe away from like not facing our fears, is just being in our comfort zone. And really what that means is us playing it small so that we can stay in the exact same condition we are in, even if it's not something that we really want to be in, just for the state of not having to face our fears. And I don't know about you, but that really sucks. So I want to share a story with you of kind of how this came up for me. So when I was a kid, I may have been like literally like 4. And we were at a family like backyard, like grill, barbecue type of thing. And they had those, like, I don't know if you remember those like blue blow up pools. Blue blow up pools are in the backyard. It was amazing. We were swimming. We were out there swimming forever. I had my floaty because Janae did not know how to swim. And I remember we took a lunch break and then, waited and then got back in. And so I remember they had this like deck right next to the pool. And I was up there with my like big floaty. I can't remember if it was like a duck floaty, but I remember it being like one of the rings. And I go and I start like jump and I leap in the air. And I literally remember the feeling of me losing the floaty as I was midair. And like little me just being like, oh my gosh. So I like land smack dab in the middle of the pool. There's a lot of kids in the pool, making it really hard to spot me. And I am bobbling. And the panic, the terror that was just going through my body was absolutely ridiculous. And so that happened. And like, obviously I made it. I'm still here, right? But fast forward a couple years beyond that, in elementary school, we had a week where it was like, learn how to swim. It sounded very innocent. And I remember them saying like, just swim across the pool. I knew it was tall enough for me to stand up in. However, it was just like my body was in, like I was shaking, I was scared. Like there was nothing you could say to me to convince me that it was safe. Despite the fact that there was a lifeguard and all the rational thoughts. And that's something that's really important to note about fear, is like so often our fears are not even really rational when we get down to the point of like, what will really happen in this case? Obviously, I'm excluding the like you being attacked or running from something, right? Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. So as an adult, I was out with a friend one weekend and she was like, "Hey, I'm going to take swim lessons." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'll go with you as you go shopping." And then I was like, maybe I should get swim stuff too. Like maybe I'll convince myself to want to do swim lessons. So this was a couple years ago, and I actually did end up doing like adult swim lessons. And, and when I tell you that that fear that I had from still being a young kid just came so much ease, I was absolutely terrified. I swallowed way more water than I care to ever admit. But I knew, like, okay, my goal with doing this, what I want to achieve is to one, conquer this fear that I've had forever, where when I go out or when I travel, I don't even want to get in the water because, like, what if I drown? So it was like a learning lesson for me, though, of just releasing and allowing that fear to pass through and to actually like have a lesson in like how to actually face your fears. And what I learned is that when you have a fear that is holding you back, so often that fear can be so big for us up until the point that it almost like, for lack of a better word, like hurts how much it's hindering our success, or like the barrier that it's between us and our goals is so large that we choose like, hey, we have to do something. I have to take some type of action in order to make sure that I don't allow this to continue to be a burden for me. And so as you go through whatever, your success looks like, whatever would feel like a win for you, if you have things that are regularly holding you back, luckily, like most of our fears we have doesn't require like you doing the exact same thing over. There are so many techniques and things that have been developed in order to help us get our mind on board in terms of phobias and all of these things. So it's not like, hey, go jump in the water that you're afraid of, but it's like just getting to the point of us being so committed to our success that we can see the other side, that we can really question and put fear in its place. Because at the end of the day, I used to be so afraid of doing certain things. And I was totally missing the boat on what I was missing out by not doing those things, where I was allowing fear of failure to be so much more important than my fear of success. Or like, like my fear of failure was so much more bigger than like, what if this works though? Like, what am I giving up by allowing this to keep me playing small? And I think that's a really good question to ask yourself. Like, if you're in that position where you have hit something over and over and over again, and it just feels like it's holding you back, like, what exactly are you giving up by holding on to it? Who is winning by you holding on to this? And what are you actually gaining by allowing that fear maintain that position of control in your life? And what can you gain by releasing that fear? Because I can tell you that it has been so liberating to just embrace the change of releasing those fears. So, with that being said, I will see if there's any comments in the chat. I don't know who this is, but someone said hi. Hi. It doesn't show up a name for some reason. And yes, if you like this type of video, definitely make sure to head over to the Facebook group, Free NLP and Hypnosis. It's amazing. We talk a lot more about these type of things, and I provide you with techniques to actually get moving on these things, and it's not in this torturous way that I feel like a lot of fears and phobias come up. So I don't think I see any other questions currently. If you have any after the fact, just let me know. I'll be here, and I'm going to run to take care of my tire situation so that I have a drivable car tomorrow. So I will see y'all next time. Bye.